Hey everybody, welcome to episode 17 of the Robotuner build. It took a little over a full day, but the guitar is all finished and out of the paint shop and ready for reassembly. And the kittens have taken over my little workbench here, so looks like I'm going to be doing this on my desk. So, yeah, let's see. The first thing is I need to, really the first thing I need to do is make sure I've decided on what color to make the screws. I'm thinking gold to go with the purple, even though like the Robotuner is black and silver, and the nut is black, and so I could go black, but I don't know. Yeah, so that's like the very first thing is to decide what color to paint the screws. On this one here, I can either take it apart or I can do it by hand with a mini brush. But yeah, I need to decide what color to paint the screws, and then dig up the neck shim, because it had like one brass neck shim in it as I recall. And then go ahead and bolt on the neck. That kind of thing. And start turning it back into a guitar again. So, yeah, let me think about it for a minute and then get cracking on squirting some screws, or squirting these screws. They're all in there, but none of them are really finished in a particular color. Some of them are like already finished and whatever, but I'll be back. I always say that. Okay, I thought about it a bit, and I think I'm going to go with black for everything. So, black neck screws. This stuff is black and the tuners are silver already. By and large, the thing is black and silver for the hardware. And on the front, you're going to have, you'll have this thing. I think I'll paint the base plate black. And then your bridge is going to be purple, and it's got silver saddles. Not much hope of painting the saddles. So there'd be that much silver there. You've got silver here where these guys stick through. And then strap lock, I can either use a black one or paint something black or something like that. Paint the EQ plaque. The switch, I don't know. I think this one's slated to use a silver switch, to tell you the truth. And I don't have a black one handy, so. And I don't really want to paint one. These are pretty nice switches, so maybe I'll just leave that part silver. And yeah, I think that covers it. The strap locks, and so yeah, about the only thing that will be silver on it then would be the tuners and the saddles, and maybe I think this is a silver. Yeah, this is a silver switch, and the switch, the kill button. And then the battery box is black. I can paint the EQ black. And on-off switch, wherever it is, you don't really see it, but I can always squirt this thing black too. So yeah, I think black is going to be the color of the day for this build, so to speak. And I'll do like, I'll touch that up with some black, and use black for these screws here for the bar, and for the thumb screw it'll get black too. So black across the board. Okay, now that I've decided that, now I'm going to fish up all the screws and squirt them all black. Okay, just have 2 neck screws and the pivot screw for the bar. the thumb screw for the bar is already, it was stock color of like black, and it's already been shellacked or lacquered, so it actually looks okay. And over here on the bar itself, this screw to help hold it together, this still looks a little rough. It'd been sanded some before it got the clear coat, so I'm just going to touch that up by hand. And so that leaves just these three, and I'll hit them up with some like gloss black and see how they look, and I can always shoot them with a coat of lacquer over that if I want more of this kind of a look to it, if I want that. And that ought to do it for getting the hardware like color matched. Over here I've got, I'm using silver hold downs. I don't have black ones, but I guess that would be an upgrade, would be to, since this thing was a successful experiment, the first upgrade to it would be to, like do it all with matching hardware perhaps. But for now, I'm just going to leave these silver. So, because this is a part that's going to see friction, and so the paint wouldn't last. And likewise with the wherever they are here, these guys actually, the pivot screws that replaced the pivot pins that were too weak. They're the ones that are not too weak. But yeah, the two that were up here that bent and got replaced with these screws, I could try to squirt the top black, but I don't really see a point in it, so I'm just going to leave them silver as well. And that's all the screws in this whole thing. It's just that. So let me get the black paint and get cracking at it. Gloss black paint from Dollar General. I don't know how much it costs, but it didn't cost much. It gets the job done just fine though. Quick step outside and they're all squirted. Yeah, it's after the rain here, it warmed it up a bit. We're up to almost 70 Fahrenheit and about 85% relative humidity out there. It's cooler and drier in here, so I brought the stuff back in to dry. This should be dry in about 15 minutes or so. This is pretty fast drying stuff for a gloss. So, and there's the neck shim all ready and waiting. So once these screws dry, I can take these two guys and put the neck on. Okay, for this screw right here, I took some of the paint and I squirted it on the paper, and I put on my x-ray specs, and I use this little micro brush, and I get some paint on it. I carefully dab it onto the screw until I got it nice and evenly coated, and so it's got a nice good thick coat on it to match all the ones up there, and that should take care of that. And now all I got to do is wait, and yeah, 15 minutes from now and everything should be dry and ready to go. Okay, looks like all the screws are dry here. Two neck screws, swing bar screw, little screw I painted on the swing bar, and that I didn't do anything to. I still need to paint the base of this thing, and I think that'll do it for detail painting, so to speak. Then time to put on the neck. Okay, pickup is all masked off here for squaring the base black. Didn't want to get the wires, so. Okay, I trimmed the neck shim so that it matches the contour of the body and doesn't stick out at the back edge, and secured it with a drop of CA glue. And I was just checking the neck screws here, and I'm going to need to chase these holes with the drill. So that's going to be the next step, and then the neck's ready to go on. So yeah, let me break out the drill. Okay, I took the micrometer and measured the screws and got the correct drill bit and hooked up the drill and chased the holes. They're all nice and clean now, and yeah, the screws are a good fit, so everything should be ready to go to bolt this neck on. I'm going to use just a Phillips head screwdriver and do it all by hand because I don't want to mess up the paint on any of these guys. So that's the plan.